Hello, everyone. This is David, Fairly Secret Music. Apparently, Better Off Dead is the VHS that I like to use on the top here. As you know, I've been doing a bunch of favorite albums from years from 1988 through this one, which was 96. Um, Again, the rules are I have to have listened to it. A couple years ago, like 1994, I think, I had to kind of flub those rules a bit, and I am back to the top 10 of that year. Sometimes I do honorable mentions, but 1996 does not have any honorable mentions, it just has the top 10. So, Counting Crows, Recovering Satellites. This is kind of in here because I wanted to fill out the 10, and this isn't as good as their first album, but it's kind of more rockin' in places, so I really do like it. Like Angels of the Silence, awesome. And when they played in Minneapolis for their first tour, they played a song called Goodnight Elizabeth that is on this. So awesome. Great album, great songs. Tori Amos, Boys for Pele. This is a long album with a lot of different feels. My favorite song on here is Not the Red Baron. Yep. Cradle of Filth, Dusk and Her Embrace. This was at the height of my love for Cradle of Filth, and this album came out after the EP, which is called Vampire, which is the next album. The best part of this whole album is the Haunted Shores, which I believe has Kronos doing a spoken word thing, talking about nestling vipers to his breasts and stuff like that. Such an awesome way to end an album. The one bad thing about this is Danny's vocals are just all that screeching, yeah, 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 kind of stuff that that is very much in just kind of repetitious. Sorry if the light went down. I'm down to 20% on the battery here. Cradle of Filth, Vampire, Dark Fairy Tales in Palestine. This actually had two covers. Here's the other cover. And then there's this cover. I have a t-shirt, a long sleeve t-shirt with that on it. The best on here is Ebony Dressed for Sunset and the redone version of Forest Whispers My Name. So good. The production is a step up from their original album, or first album I should say, and just awesome. Opeth, Morning Rise. I had a weird time with Opeth. I listened to this, I had it for a long time, and then I sold it, and then I rebought it when I really got into Opeth again. I really liked their, nope, there's the light again. I really liked their bass player. He played exclusively fretless bass, and on the first song, Advent, he does this and it's so obvious that he's playing fretless. It's so great though. Third in the Mortal, Painted on Glass. This is an odd album in their discography. It's a lot more experimental, but there are some really awesome songs on here, especially the last half of the song Vivonia Part 2, or is it Horizons? I don't know. It's such a long song, and the last 3-4 minutes is just awesome, especially the drumming. Rushed, Test for Echo. I didn't like this album as much at first, and then I watched a DVD where Neil Peart breaks down every one of his drum parts and then plays every song with pre-recorded tracks, and it is fantastic and makes you love this album even more. The song Test for Echo is awesome, driven. Yeah, just that DVD totally changed my view of Test for Echo. King's X, Ear Candy. Look at this. I was pulling that off. This is the last one they did for a bigger label. This was on Atlantic, and good songs, but a little bit more rough around the edges almost. Still great production, you know, Box, Train, let's see what else. Thinking and Wondering What I'm Gonna Do sometimes. Great songs, but kind of, I was starting to lose interest in King's X a little bit at this time. Partially because this album didn't live up to the awesomeness that was Dogman. And I was listening to this little band called Tool. Anima was amazing. It still is a good album. I just can find the flaws in it way more than I liked it to believe in 1996. I recently listened to the song Anima, and I was like, yeah, it's just kind of... This was kind of like the beginning of them getting very repetitious and not being as... It's like they're trying to be less commercial, but they kind of lose their actual good songwriting in the process. So, and I think the last two albums are good, but they're just kind of a rehash of stuff on this album. So I'll be interested in hearing what the new album sounds like. And number one from 1996, My Dying Bride, Like Gods of the Sun. I love this album so much, I left to go get a copy for my friend who said he wanted it, and knew my ex-girlfriend was coming over, and basically I was gone when she came over. Who knows what would happen. So yeah, this was an amazing album. I saw them on this tour. Look at how hacked up that digipack is, but it is well loved. I fell asleep while reading the song lyrics, and when my phone rang and startled me, I got up and wrinkled the cover. This has all the lyrics and stuff. They were amazing on this tour. My nephew did a copy of that album cover, I believe, as a painting, that is. But Like Gods of the Sun is possibly their most accessible album. No death metal vocals on here, still lots of violin and keyboards, and just awesome. So that was 1996. Thanks for watching.